What's up, people? Welcome back to Bulldozer TV. The international break is finally over and the Premier League is back with a bang. We've survived 2 weeks of watching our stars play in far-flung corners of the globe, holding our breath for any news of an injury, but now the real football returns. The weekend is quite stacked. We've got a derby that needs no introduction, so strap in and get ready for the only preview show that attacks the weekend like a 50-50 challenge. So, as I said, there is no introduction about the North London derby, Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur. For the past 5 games between these two clubs in the Premier League, Arsenal have come up on top 4 times. So it's been quite a one-sided, and it seems like it's going to be the same this weekend. But you never know, Tottenham could pull a surprise. But when you look at the form Arsenal in, although they had a disappointing 2-2 draw with Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, you could quite see it was coming because Sunderland are really, really very strong at the Stadium of Light. They play very compact football. They defend low block, and then they hit you on the counter. And they have this never say die spirit. Even if they are down, they still come back and fight for either a draw or a victory. It was quite a cagey game. Arsenal weren't at their best, but then Sunderland was on top form and they did what they had to do to get a draw from that game. So Arsenal is quite a wounded lion, and going into this North London derby, they would want to prove a point. Tottenham have had mixed seasons Premier League, as we all know. They've been very terrible at the Tottenham Stadium, but they've been very, very good when they play away. But Emirates is a different stadium. It's a derby, and it's going to be a very tough game. I don't know how Tottenham can pull this off and get even a draw. But as a Chelsea fan, I would hope Tottenham can pull at least a draw so that they can take points off Arsenal. But looking at the matchup, the biggest news is that Gabriel is not going to play. But Arsenal have so many weapons, many defensive covers. You can put Calafiori to partner Saliba and then play Marsley with Skelly. Or you can even play Hincapié. When it comes to the attacking line, they do have Saka, they do have Eberechi, another big name who was supposed to go to Tottenham, but then he said no to them and went to their North London rivals, which is Arsenal. So, there's kind of this rivalry there also. So it's going to be fireworks, but looking at both teams, Tottenham have a very blunt attack. You could see them against Chelsea where they didn't even produce anything up front. And it was the same against United until United were one man down due to the injury of Sesko before they were able to produce something. So they've really been playing boring football, but we all know their defense is back. Their back line are all fit and ready to go. So in terms of prediction, I'll go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Their last 2 Premier League games, Arsenal against Tottenham has been just a 1-goal difference with Arsenal coming on top on both games. So I believe it's still going to be a 1-goal difference. Another game that we have to look at is Newcastle United against Man City, which is also one of the big games of the weekend. We know Newcastle traveling has been very bad. They've lost most of their away games, but they really do well at home. However, they still lost to Arsenal and Liverpool at home. Or with Tottenham, Man City on form, Jeremy Doku this season playing well. We've been criticizing him that he lacks end product, but from the way he's been playing this season, he looks like if Haaland is not producing, he is going to be the next person to produce. So Haaland is in top form. He's the hottest striker on the planet at the moment, scoring week in and week out. Like, he seems unstoppable. He seems like he's a robot, and then, like, he has found his groove, he has found his edge, and he's on a different stratosphere this season, scoring goals both internationally and in the Premier League and Champions League. So the only way Newcastle can get something out of this game is to stop Haaland. But how do you stop a robot like Haaland playing this way, who is efficient and effective? So I'm going for a Man City 2-0 win against Newcastle United. Yeah, Chelsea faces Burnley at Burnley Stadium, and it's a 5:30 kickoff game in the United States, so 5:30 in the United States. It's going to be a very hard game because Burnley has really been tough at home. Liverpool struggled till they had a last-minute penalty. Manchester United also struggled till they had a last-minute penalty before they won the game. They've been quite compact and defensive at home, so it's not going to be a goal first in that game. And Chelsea, I don't know what changes Maresca will make because Chelsea will be looking forward to the weekend Champions League game against Barcelona, which is the biggest game. And then they'll be looking out for the next week game also against Arsenal, which is a London derby. So I know Maresca is going to rotate a lot. Hopefully he doesn't rotate that much that is going to be detrimental to the Chelsea squad. And Chelsea doesn't normally play well after the international break, and it's an early kickoff. Surprises could happen. But I hope Chelsea will have enough tools to pull this off. So I'll go for a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Because one thing about Chelsea is that at their last 2 games, they've been able to keep clean sheet and they are getting their defenses set up right. Another game we have to look at is Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. The Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest. They had their first win before the international break, and they are facing a Liverpool that was battered by Man City. But it's going to be a very tough game for Liverpool. Like, Nottingham Forest shouldn't be a tough game for Liverpool, but Liverpool, with all the changes, all the players coming in, they are very, very top class players, but they do not fit in at the moment. So it's going to be quite one of the tough games for Liverpool again, but it's still Anfield. Although we can say Nottingham Forest, at the same time last season, they were the team that beat Liverpool when Liverpool were flying high. But then it was Nuno Espirito Santos that was the manager of Nottingham Forest. So it's still going to be a tough game for both clubs, but it seems like Liverpool will snake in and win by a goal to nil. Manchester United faces Everton. I see Manchester United pulling up a victory, a 2-1 victory. So Sunderland, Fulham, see a draw, a 1-0 draw. Brighton, Brentford is going to be a cagey game. If Brighton turns up, they are going to win. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Brighton. Bournemouth, West Ham. West Ham have won their last 2 games. Bournemouth have had this shaky past few games, but it's going to be a tough assignment for West Ham to get a point at Bournemouth. So I'm going with a Bournemouth win. On Leeds versus Aston Villa, I'm going with a 3-1 victory for Aston Villa. And Wolverhampton versus Crystal Palace, they have a new manager in the name of Rob Edwards. There could be a new manager bounce, but also Crystal Palace have a good manager. They are playing very well. So I know it could go anywhere. Looking at it, if I had to bet money on, I would say it's going to be a draw. And there you have it. From the Emirates to the City Ground, this weekend promises fireworks. Drama and pure unadulterated Premier League action. We are backing a boring North London derby, a hard-fought game at Anfield, and absolute carnage at the bottom of the table. But as we all know, the Premier League always has a surprise up its sleeves. So whatever you do, don't miss a minute of it. Get your jerseys and get ready to support your team. And don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, and don't miss any action on Bulldozer TV. Cheers.